wanted to show you guys this tree like 3 days ago before it started blooming, but I'm gonna record it today and then again in a couple more days so you guys can see how many flowers we're gonna have and a bunch of bees around this. Recently I've been asked if I was curing some of the stuff that I was doing with my dryer or with my flash, and the answer for that is if I'm doing something like 12 t-shirts or sometimes 12 sweatpants like the ones I did yesterday, I just flash cure them. I flash cure for a long time before I got my dryer, for about 1.5 years, and never had a complaint. So I have done a video about how to cure flash with your flash. So if you guys need help with that, maybe you can go back a couple of videos. I do a lot of videos, so I don't know which one it is, but hopefully you can find it and it'll help you out. If I'm doing longer runs, then obviously I like to use the conveyor. Another question that I was asked was about my left chest placement. Now, I've explained this a really long time ago, but it doesn't hurt to go over it. So standard size for a left chest, we go 3.75 inches wide. Now, your customer might want something smaller or bigger. If they ask for standard, 3.75 would be just kind of universal. This was another question. Sizing was one, the other question was placement. So for placement, the way I figure where to put it, it's if you come down where the stitching on your shoulder meets your neck, right where they meet, you just kind of bring a straight line down to your chest, and that's gonna be the center of your design. So if you can figure that out, then you're gonna have no problem whether it's a small left chest or a big left chest, because you always want to go off of that line. So when it's standard, I like to set up my left chest 3 fingers away from the center of the board, and that normally comes out to be a pretty good placement. Well. So today we're in here to reclaim some screens. Today we're reclaiming because we need some screens and we have a lot to reclaim. So I'm gonna go over the steps of reclaiming real quick because I know there's a lot of new subscribers. I'm gonna show you guys the chemicals that I use. Brian was supposed to do this yesterday, but he got busy doing that vector design that we were talking about yesterday, which is this one. And let me show you guys the film. This is the image that Preston has sent me, and it's gonna be super hard to be able to show you guys, but it was so jagged, everything was distorted, and Brian cleaned it up. So we ended up with sharp lines, everything was clean, and that's kind of what he was looking for. So we're gonna put off that design and not print it at all, but Brian fixed it last night, so we ended up staying late. Even though I said it was gonna be an early day, it turned out it wasn't, but that was done and somebody was asking me about it, so thank you guys for being concerned about it. We definitely figured it out. That's the reason why those didn't get reclaimed. Some of the guys on Instagram are asking me what pressure sprayer I use and what the PSI is. So there's the name and there's the PSI. Okay, so real quick, the 3 steps that I use for reclaiming, and it's gonna suck just a little bit because I ran out of one of my chemicals, and it's the last step, the degreaser. But the 305 removes my ink, so I have it on a spray bottle by itself. And I also have my brush that's specific for that facing this way because this is oil based and I don't want it mixing with any water. So 305, it's always facing this way so that I don't mix it with water. And that is the first step to get the ink off. The second step is the CDR. And this one is the emulsion remover. So this one I put about that much CDR and the rest is filled with water. So that is super concentrated. The last one is my liquid Renew It, and I have it over here. This is the degreaser, so we try to keep this as clean as possible. For the last step, I like to go 3/4 of the way with the liquid Renew It and the rest with water. That is a degreaser and a dehazer. For the emulsion remover, I like to keep it over here so that it's always wet, and when I'm brushing the emulsion off, you know, it's easy and it's running down, and we get that step out of the way a lot faster than if I was hanging it and it was drying up and then I have to get it wet and get the emulsion going. So it's kind of like the smarter way to do it. So those are the 3 steps that I use. So I'm gonna go ahead and reclaim a screen and show you guys how I go about it. And this dehazer degreaser, it's really good because it leaves me no ghost image. All right, so I picked a screen that has some red ink in it so I can show you guys that there's gonna be no ghost image left. And I advise you to wear gloves. A lot of people get chemical reactions on their skin with one of these 3 steps. So just make sure you wear gloves and possibly a long sleeve if you need it. I've seen my cousin get some rashes all the way up to his elbow because of the chemicals. So be careful. Better safe than sorry. Just wear a long sleeve and gloves. Also, I bought masks, yes, so that I'm not breathing the chemicals at all times. So those are some safety precautions that I think you should take. Before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know all of that because some people just say, you know, I don't care about it. Then they end up getting like all kinds of stuff on their skin. But, you know, if they don't want to, what can we do about it? So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the 305. Now we're not gonna add any water to this step. We're just gonna hit it straight on the screen. And then we have our brush over here. It's kind of difficult to do this while I'm holding the camera. Now, as you guys can see, I don't have to brush the entire thing, and I don't have to worry about the sides because the way I tape makes reclaiming so much easier. I hope that this is making a lot of sense to some people that like to not tape their screen. So we're not gonna go super crazy. Now we're gonna put it facing this way because we're gonna hit the screen with water and we don't want water to be hitting that brush. Okay, turn on the pressure sprayer. Now we're gonna hit it with the CDR to remove the emulsion. Okay, so now we're going to remove the emulsion. Now that our emulsion has been removed, what we're going to do is damp the screen with some of our dehazer degreaser, both sides. And then we're going to scrub both sides. So remember, the more you work the screen, the cleaner it's going to be. So don't be afraid to scrub both sides. Don't be lazy. Get it done right the first time, and you won't have to come back and worry about it later. Okay, so this is the last step. The sides of our screen are clean. The edges or the inside of our screen is clean. So when we go and grab it, when we're in production, we won't get our hands dirty. Let's go ahead and clean it up. Okay, you guys, so that's a clean screen. There is no emulsion residue. There is no ghost image on here. Everything is gone. It's getting ready to be used, or actually it's getting ready to be coated as soon as it's dry. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the swamp cooler and lay these down over here so they dry fast. My friend in Houston knows how to do that, so shout out to my boy. And let's go ahead and keep going. I'm gonna show you guys how they're laid at the end. I think they dry faster that way. Some people like to put them outside. If you put them outside in the sun, they might get dust on them, and that's gonna create pinholes. I like to turn on the swamp cooler and then start doing that so that I don't put them on there and then turn on the swamp cooler later and blow the dust into them, if that makes sense. Meow. Cool. All right, my friends, that is it for today. I'm done reclaiming. Got quite a bit of screens done. This was the last one I did, and they're almost all dry because I have my swamp cooler blasting the air. So that super helps. I'm just gonna come in tomorrow and coat them all. You know, I don't have no super emergency, so that's a good thing. Thank you guys for all the questions. I'm out of here. Bye, screens. Goodbye. Preston was mad because I don't have his vinyl here, so we're gonna have to make one for him soon.